With the help of the Swindon Society, we're stepping back in time to Swindon of yesteryear. And this time we're off to Old Town, to the area known as High Swindon. We travel back to Victoria Road. The year is 1910. This section was a new road built in the late 1880s to link the Old Town with the new town in the valley. The previous route was Escott Hill, which was narrow, steep and hazardous for pedestrians and horse-drawn traffic. In this picture there are no motor vehicles visible, but the tram lines lead off into the distance. We're on the corner of Victoria Road, looking along Wood Street towards the Goddard Arms Hotel in the 1920s. The mock Tudor building on the left of the picture has now been replaced with a more modern building, as has the manor house next to it. The turning into Little London is just after the manor house to the left. This view was taken in Wood Street in 1924. It shows Castle Works, once the premises of Edward Bays & Co., an ironmonger's and hardware store. In fact, their name can still be seen on drain covers around the town. They still trade as heating engineers, although the premises are now occupied by several different traders. In fact, this was once called Smith Street because so many blacksmiths and wheelwrights traded here. Here's a picture of Wood Street in the 1960s. It's a view that hasn't changed a great deal. Many of the businesses still there today. The Cross Keys pub is to the right and the King's Arms Hotel on the left. It's not well known that a windmill once stood on the site that the King's Arms Hotel now occupies. Once again we go back to 1910 and the Goddard Arms Hotel, formerly called the Crown. This was the main coaching inn. The premises were also used as a magistrates' court in the days before the town hall in the square was built. The view shows that Old Town still bears much evidence of the transition of the former market town. From horse-drawn traffic to the motor age, from stables to garages, and blacksmiths to car repair shops and showrooms. In the High Street, the year is 1952. The Bell Hotel was also a coaching inn and also serving as a post office, the mail originally carried by coach. Scurry's mock Tudor building can be seen further down the street. That was built in 1924 to replace an earlier garage and showroom. The Scurry family were also flour millers with premises on the Wilton Berks Canal. Note the atmosphere of the 1950s, the cars and the quiet roads. They say it never snows like it used to. It's January 1962, and the entrance to the lawns is to the right of the picture. The school sign refers to huts on the lawns used at this time as a Catholic school before St. Joseph's was built. The huts were also used as the building department of the college before the college extension was created. Still in the High Street, this is a closer view of the lodge houses, guarding the drive to the Lawns house. This picture was taken in the 1960s. The Lawns was the home of the Goddard family, lords of the Manor of Swindon, until 1927. It's difficult to imagine just how the surroundings looked, but here's a drawing of the mill and mill pond from around 1845. It shows Holyrood Church and the Manor House, and for those that look closely, it's still possible to see the remains of these buildings today. The land has never been built on. Only the chancel of the Holyrood Church and some of its arches remain. This picture shows some youngsters gathered round the church over 100 years ago, back in 1896. Church services are sometimes still held at this site by the Congregation of Christ Church, which was built to replace Holyrood in 1851. It's 1910, and we're looking at a picture of the Lawns house and the Italian garden. The cellars of the house were filled with rubble when it was demolished in 1952. The whole area then turfed over. The raised ground where the house once stood can be clearly seen today, as can the layout of the long-gone Italian garden. And finally, a view from the 1930s. Looking out over the Goddard estate, the picture shows the farmland which is now part of the Lawns. In the distance, the once green fields, lost in Swindon's expansion with the creation of Park South. That's a look back to yesteryear, thanks to the efforts of the Swindon Society, continuing to bring us a glimpse of Swindon through the years.